Hey guys, this is Seagrove. I made a few videos like this before, but today I want to talk to you about what a group of death is and whether or not it should be applied to Group A at IEM Katowice, because it has been being applied. So first of all, let's talk about what a group of death really is. A group of death, by the strictest definition, is a group that has more teams who deserve to advance to the next stage of the tournament than teams that will advance. So if we, as an example, if you look at the World Cup, this is where this term originated. And it's where it's used most often probably at the World Cup. So if you look at group of death at the World Cup, say you are team number 13. You're ranked 13th going into the World Cup. Well, 16 teams advance to the next stage. So by all rights, you should be advancing if you play well and no one else just goes crazy, goes off at the tournament. Just by looking at the numbers, you should advance. But if you get stuck in a group of death and everything plays out normally, then you won't advance. And this is what a group of death is. Say that you're in a group with the number 1 team and the number 7 team, just by bad luck, and who cares about the other one? We'll say they're number 20. So 1, 7, and 13, all of those are within the top 16, so all 3 of those should be advancing, except that you had an unlucky draw and you happen to be with 2 other teams. So there are 3 teams that should be advancing, but only 2 teams per group advance. So that's a group of death, because there are more teams who deserve to go on than slots from that group that will go on. So that's the strictest definition. Some people say, oh, it has to be all 4 teams have to deserve to go on, but that I think is too strict of a definition, and it's very rarely used that way anyways. The most common definition is more teams who deserve to go on than will go on from a group. So let's look at the groups from IEM Katowice, and at IEM Katowice, maybe you rank teams differently, maybe I rank teams differently. These are just the power rankings that Riot just put out on lowlysports.com. So I'm just going to go with those so that we can have a starting point. So if you look at Group A, well, first of all, in this tournament, 2 teams from each group are going to advance. So if you look at Group A, they have 2 teams in the top 4. GE Tigers number 1 and SK Gaming number 3. So there's 2 from Group A who should advance, and there are 2 from Group B who should advance, CJ Intis and TSM, again according to the Lowly Sports rankings. So by the strictest definition of group of death, there is no group of death. Group A has 2 teams who should advance, Group B has 2 teams who should advance. If you agree with these rankings, and whether or not you do, that's fine. But then there is a third definition of group of death, and the first one was, again, more teams than slots to advance, and then the second one was that one that is very rarely used, that all teams in a group deserve to go on. The third definition is just a stronger than average group. So when we look at an average group based purely on numbers and rankings, it would be this. In a tournament of 8 teams, the middle teams would be 4 and 5. So an average ranking would be 4.5, even though obviously that's not possible. So if you have 4 teams that are ranked 4.5 and you add up all those rankings in a group, that would be 18. So 18, if you take the sum of all the group rankings in a group, is an average group. Now if yours is less than that, that makes your group a hard group, and if yours is more than that, that makes your group an easy group. So let's look at these 2 groups. In Group A, you have 6, 1, 3, and 5. 6 plus 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10, plus 5 is 15. So you have 15. That's less than the average 18. So Group A is a hard group. Group B would be an easy group because 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 2 is 13, plus 8 is 21. So that's an easy group. And so by that definition, yes, Group A is a group of death because it's a difficult group. It's average. It's the sum of all its rankings is above what an average group would have. And then, but that's by the strictest definition still not a group of death. So that's just something to talk about and to think about when people use this term group of death. Are they using it correctly? Does it really what does that really mean? And now you can know and you can talk intellectually about that.